Hello everyone, this is Mikrachin from Team 4 along with my members Nasana, Ireland and Dilpreet. Today we are going to talk about cultural and political legal environment of Malaysia, Thailand, India and Vietnam. First of all, we'll explore the cultural and political legal landscape of Malaysia. A diverse nation in Southeast Asia, Malaysia is truly multicultural, with Bahasa Malaysia as the official language, but English widely used in business. Chinese dialects, Tamil, and indigenous language are also common. This linguistic diversity is mirrored in religion, with Islam being dominant at 61%, followed by Buddhism, Christianity, and Hinduism. Malaysian culture emphasizes respect for authority, collective harmony, and indirect communication, reflected in its high power distance and low individualism. This results in a strong respect for hierarchy and group loyalty in business. In contrast, the USA scores low in power distance and high in individualism, focuses on accessibility and personal achievement. While both cultures share a balanced approach to masculinity and femininity, Malaysia is more relaxed about uncertainty compared to USA, with a moderate long-term perspective. Malaysia contrasts with the USA's short-term focus. Recognizing these cultural differences is vital for enhancing cross-cultural interactions. These cultural factors significantly impact marketing strategies. Companies should use multiple languages in their materials, show sensitivity to religious and cultural diversity, focus on building long-term relationships, and employ indirect communication tactics. Now let's turn to the political and legal environment. Malaysia is a constitutional monarchy with federal parliamentary democracy. The Mars Political Risk Map categorizes it as a medium risk country, while the World Justice Project ranks it 55th out of 142 countries in rule of law adherence. For US firms, it's important to note that foreign investment is generally welcome, but with some restrictions in strategic sectors. Intellectual property rights are protected, but enforcement can be challenging. The corporate tax is 24% with incentives available for foreign investors. Key risks to consider include occasional political instability, corruption concerns, and the potential for sudden regulatory changes. Business should also be aware of Bhumiputra policies, which favors ethnic Malays and indigenous peoples, and the increasing influence of Islam on certain industries as well. Despite these challenges, Malaysia offers significant opportunities. It ranks 12th in the World Bank Ease of Doing Business Index and is transitioning from reliance on natural resources to high-tech manufacturing and services. In conclusion, while Malaysia presents attractive prospects for U.S. businesses, success requires a deep understanding of its cultural nuances and complex political landscape. Through research, cultural adaptation, and long-term commitment to relationship building are the key to be thriving in the dynamic market.
Now let us see the cultural and political aspects of India. According to the People's Linguistic Survey of India, India is reported to have the second highest numbers of languages in the world with 780 languages. English is the official language of the government. Religion in India is characterized by a diversity of religion, beliefs and practices. The Indian subcontinent is the birthplace of the world's major religion, namely Buddhism, Hinduism, Jainism and Sikhism. India's business culture blends traditional values with modern practices, emphasizing the hierarchical structure, relationship-driven decisions, and indirect communication. Hofstede's culture dimensions highlights key differences between India and the US. India has high power distance, is collectivist, and shows high long-term orientation, while the US has low power distance is individualistic and is more short-term focused. Both countries show moderate to high masculinity and moderate uncertainty avoidance. India scored low on indulgence, indicating restraint, while the US scored high, reflecting a permissive society. Marketers need to be aware of the differences in order to adjust their marketing strategies accordingly. Overall, cultural differences can be seen in significant impact on the international marketing strategy. India's political system is a federal parliamentary democratic republic with a multi-party structure featuring a president as the head of the state and prime minister as the head of the government, with complex interplay of national and regional parties, challenges such as economic development, social tensions, and environmental issues, while maintaining its status as the world's largest democracy. During the Biden administration, the two nations have agreed to resolve certain bilateral trade issues. Bilateral frictions remains, including over tariffs, U.S. termination of India's eligibility to to the US Generalized Systems of Preferences GSP and sometimes diverging US and Indian views in the World Trade Organization. India has minimal risk of states failure while business flows generally maintaining continuity across leadership changes. India is expected to become the second largest economy in the Asia Pacific region by 2030. Five key factors are foreign investment, trade, human capital, climate change, and geopolitics. And in conclusion, India is a country where we can see that it is a developing country. Indian society is multifaceted, encompassing a range of ethnicity, languages, religion, and caste, which is social structure. It includes people from the rural to urban and tribal settings. It's contributing to the distinct ethos of Indianness.
Now let's talk about the cultural environment of Thailand. Thailand's official language is Thai, but English is also widely spoken in business settings. The culture is predominantly influenced by Buddhism, which shapes daily life and social interactions. Talking about the Thai business culture, they expect initial meeting to focus on building relationship through dining, uses the traditional Y greeting, hands together with a slight bow, and presents business cards respectfully. They dresses formally, men in dark suits and ties, women in dark dresses or knee-length skirts. They addresses superiors with kun. Avoid interrupting and refrain from discussing politics negatively. Respect for Buddhist customs is essential, so avoid selfies with statues and use spoon while dining. By adapting to these cultural nuances, international companies can foster a strong relationship and make lasting positive impressions in Thailand. For marketers, this means adapting strategies to respect hierarchies and emphasize community values. Campaigns should focus on quality of life and well-being rather than competition. Clear messaging is essential to align with high preference for certainty. International companies should prioritize relationship building over hard selling to create impactful campaigns. In terms of cultural dimension, Thailand scores high in power distance, indicating a hierarchical society. With a low individualism score, the Thai culture emphasizes collectivism, valuing group goals over individual aspirations. A low masculinity score reflects a strong preference for quality of life and care for others. The high uncertainty avoidance signifies a preference for clear, direct communication. Lastly, Thailand's long-term orientation suggests a normative outlook coupled with low indulgence, indicating cultural restraint. In summary, the USA shows lower power distance and higher individualism, higher masculinity, lower uncertainty avoidance, slightly lower long-term orientation, and higher indulgence compared to Thailand. Talking about the political and legal environment, Thailand functions as a constitutional monarchy with parliamentary system, classified as a medium risk country. The World Justice Project ranks Thailand 80th in its rule of law index with a score of 0.50. US firms must navigate the Foreign Business Act, which restricts foreign ownership in certain sectors while intellectual property's protection is improving. Challenges remains along with complex labor laws. International companies should seek local legal counsel to ensure compliance and effectively navigate this legal landscape. Firms must remain vigilant about political instability and political coups and protests, and be aware of corruption and regulatory changes. Implementing robust risk management strategies will be crucial in addressing these potential issues.
Let us see now Vietnam. The cultural and political aspects. Vietnam has a vibrant cultural and political landscape. The official language is Vietnamese, supplemented by over 100 dialects and languages spoken across its 54 recognized ethnic groups, with the Viet Kinh making up to 85%, while Buddhism is the predominant religion. Other beliefs like Catholicism, Confucianism, and Cao Dai also play significant roles in society. Vietnam's business culture combines tradition with modern practices. Key aspects includes the importance of Vietnamese language, face-to-face meeting, and social connection. The concept of face requires careful communication to avoid offense. Business etiquette involves specific protocols for greetings, meetings, and social interaction. Vietnam has a higher acceptance of hierarchy, is more collectivist in that is individualism, and values cooperation and relationship. It also shows a strong focus on a long-term goals and tradition, and practices greater restraint. The US, by contrast, emphasizes equality, individualism, competition, short-term results, and is more indulgent, favoring personal freedom and gratification. Its political environment is stable, one-party socialist system led by the Communist Party with the National Assembly holding legislative power. Political opposition is not tolerated, and the country maintains an active role in ASEAN, balancing relationship with global powers. Politically, Vietnam operates a socialist republic under one-party system led by the Communist Party of Vietnam. For U.S. firms operating in Vietnam, compliance with local laws is essential, particularly in areas like foreign investment, labor, and tax regulation. Intellectual property protection can be inconsistent, making it crucial for business to actively safeguard their assets. Vietnam ranked 106 out of 139 of the World Justice Project Law of the Rule of Law Index, indicating moderate adherence to the rule of law. According to the MERS political risk maps, it is characterized as a medium risk country, highlighting both opportunities and challenges. And in conclusion, Vietnam presents significant investment opportunities. U.S. firms must navigate its complexities by conducting thorough market research, building local partnership, and being culturally aware to effectiveness, manage risk, and contribute to the nation's economic growth. Thank you.